بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to come to Him as servants, not as people who are expecting something, that He gives us a certain something, or that we gain to a certain station or a certain level. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to come to Him as what we are, ibad. And the abd, my father was just talking to me, he said, if you spent your whole life worshiping Allah and He were to put you in the fire, you wouldn't be blamed. You're His to do, He does with you as He wills, subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course, will not do that. He gave us the right to say, Ya Allah, He said, if you worship me with no partners attributed to me, I'll give you paradise. It's a right He gave to us. And it's enough that Allah removes you, saves you from hellfire and puts you even in the lowest level of paradise, just the lowest. And the story of the man who was put into hellfire and then he kept crying and crying and crying. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, what is up with you, my servant? Why do you cry? He says, Ya Allah, just take me a little bit away from the fire, just a little bit away. He said, and if I give you this, Allah tells him, if I give you this, will you ask me for anything more? He says, no, Ya Allah, I promise this is the one thing I want and I'm not going to ask you anything else after this. So he said, then give him this. So he took him a little bit away from the fire. He took him out of the fire. He said, and now he's sort of in between paradise and hellfire. And he can sort of look at Jannah. And he's also, recognizes the hellfire. He says, Ya Allah, could you just get me a little bit closer so I could just feel a little bit of the paradise? He said, Ya Abdi, if I give you this, will you ask me anything else after it? He says, no, Ya Allah, this is all I want. So he gave it to him. So then the servant says to him, the servant begins to cry again. Allah says to him, why are you crying, my servant? He says, Ya Allah, can you please let me into paradise? He says, my servant, will you not be satisfied? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows him palaces and spacious gardens, bigger than and more spacious than the whole of the earth. And then he says, oh my servant, would you not be satisfied that I give you this? So he says, Ya Allah, you're the Lord of the heavens and you're joking. So he thought it was like a prank. He said, this is all for me? You're the Lord of the world and you're joking? And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala laughs. And in a laughing that is befitting for Him. This is a hadith narrated by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What kind of Lord laughs, smiles? Of course, in no anthropomorphic way. What kind of Lord is this? This is not a Lord who wants to catch us on every little thing and He wants to put us into Jahannam and He wants to punish us. No, this is Ar-Rahman. This is Ar-Rahman, the one who started His blessed speech, His uncreated book, with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful. So we should always remind ourselves of this, and we should be like the ant. Us big humans, the crumb falls to us, it's too little for us, we can't be satisfied. The ant, a crumb falls to it, and this is all I could possibly want. So we should be always small, we should make ourselves smaller, and not become like those who have become so large that they cannot be satisfied with even the entire heavens and the earth. We should bring ourselves smaller, such that the smallest gift, the smallest is enough to make us happy. And we should recognize that we are ibad, servants. We don't have any rights to say, I want this, or to assume, or to expect this. Expect good from Allah, but don't say, if you don't give me this, or don't have this belief in your heart, if you don't give me this, then I'm not going to be satisfied. No, you should be satisfied with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa'al afu minkum.